All right. My name is Natalie Hooper. My project was on choice-based art education and self-expression through student choice. I am a third-year teacher in northern Minnesota. I graduated in 2023 with my bachelor's in art education from the University of Minnesota Duluth. And I have experience teaching in rural and urban public schools, grades 8 through 12. And then I also have experience working in a Montessori preschool setting. For my artwork for this, I actually took the artwork that I made for this class last spring and I added to it. I thought that that was a really good representation of how I was able to reflect on what I learned, kind of like through a new lens. So it was just like building on what I learned last year when I took this class and kind of like being able to look deeper in topics. So that was kind of my idea with this whole artwork for this. And I did that originally in collage just because it's a material that I'm not super familiar with. And I thought that worked well with the whole idea of student choice and accessibility to a variety of materials. And then for that like second pass over for this final product, I used Procreate, which is also not something that I'm like super crazy familiar with. So I thought that that was a good representation of that. So my whole paper, like I said, is about self-expression through student choice. There's kind of four main categories. I explain choice-based art education. Um, there's multiple different ways to implement choice-based art, whether it's full student choice or modified choice, which was that second section, that combines choice-based and traditional teaching methods. And a lot of the time, educators find that more um, possible in a traditional art room, whether that's because of space limitations, financial limitations, materials, times, that kind of thing. Then I kind of talked about Montessori education, how that student-led philosophy really ties into student choice and choice-based art ed. And then how these pedagogies encourage self-expression. So a lot of the time, self-confidence is reported as like the biggest thing that grows from choice-based art. And that gives you the freedom to try new things, and you have the confidence that you can do something different. And yeah. As far as the most relevant information that I found, student choice allows for more creative art making amongst students of all ages. And also, a student's self-expression is directly tied to their self-confidence. So, self-confidence can be improved by the freedom to choose materials or their subject matter. So, it's just kind of like a circle of they're going to be more self-confident if they have accessibility and they're going to, um, you know, accessibility causes them to be more self-confident. In terms of contemporary artists, because this is more of like a teaching philosophy versus like a specific, content, I wanted to kind of include different artists that use maybe less mainstream mediums. So I have Lucy Sparrow, who does felt artwork, Alessandro Girl, who does like recycled materials, found objects, sculptures. And then Letitia Key, who I actually heard about in one of the discussion posts for this class, and she does hair sculpture, um, like this little lion face. As far as unanswered questions, I am curious what the best way to authentically incorporate student choice in the art room is. I'm also curious if it's possible for true choice-based art education to take place in the average public school art room. For me personally, I have a hard time seeing like pure choice-based art education being something that can take place in my classroom, but maybe that's not the case for everybody. And I'm also curious how to best encourage students to explore when given the opportunity. So that's just kind of an overview of my project for this class. And I appreciate you taking the time to listen. Thanks.